So the Niners gave up 31 points in the Super Bowl. The Bucs gave up 9. It was close. And the Niners gave up 10 halfway through the fourth quarter, and then boom, 3 straight touchdown drives. The offense takes some blame for that. But the defense still gave up those touchdown drives. They still gave up the 3rd and 15 to Tyreek Hill. They still gave up the long catch to Sammy Watkins. They gave up the pass interference play in the end zone to Travis Kelce, 2 touchdown catches, and a long touchdown run. That was Nick Bosa who gave that up. No one ever says that. So what did the Bucs do that was different?
Well, first of all, I must say that last season, when we were in the Super Bowl, Chiefs just exposed all the weaknesses of our defense. First of all, last season we usually defended cover 3, if I remember well, with Richard Sherman, who had some speed limitations that year as well. And what happened in the second half of the Super Bowl, that the Chiefs suddenly got to know how to beat out the crap of the defense just by using our mistakes and our limitations.
If you remember, on 3rd and 15, the Niners were in cover 3. Yep. Single high safety. Cover 3 has 8 men in the box. What? Why do you have 8 men in the box on 3rd and 15? Why are you flooding the underneath zone on 3rd and 15? You know they want to go deep. It's the Chiefs. And what was so interesting about what the Bucs did was they played 2 deep safeties on 90% of the snaps. So what that's saying is, look, we're not going to let you throw deep. We're going to dare you to run the ball because we know you don't want to. The Chiefs ended up running the ball like 8 times with their starting running back, 25, Clyde. It's like, it was perfect. Dare them to run the ball. Dare them to check it down over the middle. They don't want to play like that. And they didn't. It was great.
Yeah. They just were flawless, I must say. They were great. They got the turnovers. And they have some special plays just to stop Tyreek Hill to gain as many yards as he got against us in the Super Bowl. And they just executed perfectly. And I think that it was mainly because their coach is just on the offensive side of the ball, because I just can't pronounce it as many times as I can, that defense starts with the offensive time management.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
And he just couldn't manage the time in the Super Bowl, and that was something that Tampa Bay made perfectly this time. And they managed time perfectly as long as they got that lead, and they just could keep that lead with the time management and with the perfect execution. Because if you are playing with as many explosive players and great playmakers that the Kansas City Chiefs has, you have to give your defense time to rest.
Yes, absolutely. Also, if you're playing the Chiefs in the future, you bracket Hill, you bracket Kelce, you force someone other than those 2 guys to beat you. The running back, Watkins, Hardman, those guys aren't going to beat you. If you can do what the Bucs did to those 2 guys, and I knew they would, because when they played each other on November 29th, like 2 months ago, Hill had like 200 yards in the first quarter. He had 286 yards and 3 touchdowns in the game. And Todd Bowles is way too good. He's going to look at that and be, okay, I failed. I need a new plan. And it's going to be different. It's going to be effective. He's really good. So yeah, I don't know if they created the blueprint for how to stop the Chiefs, but they followed it and they perfected it. And now everyone's going to be like, okay, yeah. Too deep. Don't let him go deep. Don't let him throw to Hill and Kelce all day. Take away what he wants to do as a quarterback, in my opinion, is a lot like Mahomes. It's a lot like Wilson. He doesn't want to get rid of the ball right away. He wants to hold it. He wants to buy a little time and throw something long. He's great at that. So take that away. Take away the deep stuff. Encourage him to play like Jimmy Garoppolo. Encourage him to throw the quick stuff. He doesn't want to.
Yep, that's so true. Another thing that we have learned last night, that was Tom Brady was decent. He was great, but I don't think that he was elite. Okay, those guys who don't know, there in the comment section, because I always reading it on YouTube. You just weren't following us when we were talking on Saturdays, and elite is just came from some pronunciation problems, because as you may know, I'm not a traditional American. I'm from Hungary. I'm just learning English to speak as well as I can.
What happened was he started saying elite, and I didn't correct him because I like it. In my opinion, it makes more sense. If you're going to put an E at the one end of the word, then I should be a long I. It doesn't make any sense to call it elite. So I like elite better, and I start saying it now. To me, I think we're going to start a trend, Botond, so don't worry about it.
Okay, so Tom Brady wasn't elite, as I mentioned before. He was great, but it wasn't elite. And what we have learned about that is we don't need necessarily an elite quarterback. We just need a guy who can execute and who has
protect him. Freaking protect him. If you could protect Jimmy Garoppolo, he's shown that he can execute this offense pretty well. I'm not really into Jimmy Garoppolo because he doesn't stay healthy and he's very expensive, but that's the point here. We got a couple of questions. Todd says they learned that the officiating is a huge factor when it comes to the Chiefs. When they don't get every freaking call, they can lose. Well, that's another benefit to having Tom Brady. It's like bringing in Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Yeah, it's been well documented that he gets those calls. You know who doesn't? Jimmy. It's part of the deal. Don't complain. You could have had him, and you knew that's part of the package. He gets the calls.
Yeah, that was something huge when we played against the Chiefs. I was just devastated watching how the refs just made that game harder for us. But I just cannot say that we lost just because of the refs. A lot of people said that it was just because of that. There were too many problems, way more problems than just the refs.
Okay, all. Keith says, first off, Montana is the GOAT, period. Second, okay, hold on. I'm not going to answer the rest of the question, Keith. We want to talk about I've said that Montana is the GOAT too, because when you compare his numbers to Brady's numbers in the regular season by era, Montana's are better. But Brady just won his 7th Super Bowl. He's been to 10. And I would have to say this most recent one is his most impressive accomplishment of his career. He's 43. He just went through Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes. His first practice with the Bucs was August 14th. It's unreal what he did. So I'd have to say that as great as Montana is, Brady has officially now accomplished more than Montana did. And that's what makes you the GOAT. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You can be as talented as nobody else. You can earn as many personal honors as nobody can. But after all, this game is a team game, and nobody cares about your own personal nominations. What everybody will ask you after your career is that how much ring do you have?
He won Super Bowls on 2 different teams. Montana didn't do that.
Yep.
You know, you can't say that Tom Brady was a system quarterback because he just won with the Bucs. In fact, what's so interesting about today is that I don't think people realize it, but his legacy just took went on a whole different level. You thought Tom Brady was respected before yesterday. Now he's like the greatest team sport athlete of all time. Pretty much everyone would have to agree that he has more rings than Michael Jordan. Bill Belichick now is the guy who you're looking at like, are you just Bruce Arians with like a worse personality? Like, were you just, it's not like your defense have been that great. They've been good, but you had Tom Brady. And then like Kyle Shanahan, you convinced yourself that you didn't need Tom Brady anymore and that he was the problem. And you got rid of him and brought in Cam Newton. Cam Newton. That's what you did, Bill. So I think people are looking at him a little different now. Like, what? Really? Okay. Well, you just put Bruce Arians into the Hall of Fame. Good job. You just made Bruce Arians a Hall of Fame coach. That's what a legacy.
Yep, that's so true. That's so true. And what I think the most important elite aspect of how Brady plays American football is how he's like cold steel. That guy just got nerves of steel. Nobody else can stay as normal during a Super Bowl game as Tom Brady is. Just nobody else can.
Yeah.
There's nobody else who just can make when he has so much pressure as Brady has, like Tom Brady.
Final thing we say about Brady before we move on. When Tyrann Mathieu talked a little trash to him and Brady ran across the field to get back in his face, I thought that was pretty cool. The first thing I thought was Jimmy Garoppolo never would have done that. In a million years, he never would have done that. Nope. I liked it. I thought, like, dude, who the hell are you, Tyrann Mathieu? What? Excuse me? Pardon? You were saying something? I thought it was really cool. And I'd like to see Jimmy Garoppolo care that much once in his life about anything.
Yep.
Yup.